Poland's prime minister now says his country is the closest it has been to open conflict since the Second World War. Poland's ambassador to Canada, Witold Dzielski, joins me now. Hi, Ambassador. Pleasure to welcome you back. I certainly wish it were under different circumstances, but thank you for making the time.
Thank you for having me.
I wanted to start off on a question for people who have maybe been acquainted, of course, with Russia's actions over the past number of years, but not paying attention to everything very closely at this moment. In your view, how significant is it in the greater context what happened overnight in Poland?
Poland and our region has been tested and in so many ways attacked by Russians in recent years, I would say. The cyber warfare is going on permanently, and we did have in Poland a number of arsons, kinetic attacks conducted by the Russians. This time we are dealing with something absolutely new. We did have drones, Russian drones, flying into Poland accidentally. This time it's an organized drone aggression on the territory of a NATO country. 19 drones coming from, and these were, I mean, don't believe in lies that are produced by the propaganda machine of Russia. These were Russian drones coming from Belarus, and they were not accidentally going to Poland. They were directed to the Polish territory with the idea to test our capabilities.
I want to delve into that point because that is what Russia is saying, is pushing back on, right? As you mentioned, your foreign minister has been explicit in saying that this was deliberate. He said, his words, do not believe what Russia is putting forward about this. Russia has said, I'm just going to read it for you and for the audience and give you the opportunity to respond. The Defense Ministry has unequivocally reaffirmed that the strike did not include any targets in the territory of the Republic of Poland, and that the range of the drones that delivered a strike at the Ukrainian defense industry facilities, which according to Warsaw entered Poland's airspace, is below 700 kilometers. So they are essentially trying to argue that this was an accident. And once again, 19 drones. Your response?
It's, well, these are lies. And recently we had a number of Russian social media accounts were reestablished in order to provide the sort of backbone for the messaging that you're presenting right now, and there is a lot of misinformation being introduced into the social media sphere, especially. Among those lies are the ones that you just quoted, but there are also many others saying that suggesting that this attack was in some sort of way sponsored by Ukraine, that some other actors are involved. There is miscommunications, but lies being presented in the media, presenting the conflicts internal in NATO. So it's the typical Russian propaganda, typical methodology. My kind request is to listen to authorities of our countries, to the authorities, because they are providing accurate information.
So the information that has been provided is that this was deliberate, which I think carries with it a very big weight. I mean, to be very candid with the audience, this is Russia, which has been in war with Ukraine, declared war on Ukraine a number of years ago.
Yeah.
Now, going into another country, putting over the airspace at least of another country. What are the implications, in your view, for Poland and its allies, including Canada, NATO more largely?
It's a very serious situation, and as I mentioned before, we've been dealing with Russian aggression for years. Right now, not to say for centuries, which is true as well, but for recent years, and we quickly, successfully invoked Article 4 of the NATO treaty, and we have a huge support of the NATO allies. and we are in very close consultations. And with this, I would like to say thank you to Canadian authorities with whom I was in contact since yesterday night. And today we had the reactions of the Prime Minister, of your Minister of Defense, of your Minister of Foreign Affairs, and these were very good, strong statements. So we are, coordinating closely.
There have been, many statements of support, as you mentioned, even offers of more tangible support from some European countries, including, I believe, both the UK and France, to provide additional air support for Poland in light of what's occurred. A lot of focus today also on where the U.S. falls in all of this. The President of the United States wrote on his social media channel, "What's with Russia violating Poland's airspace with drones? Here we go." My understanding from the White House is there was to be a conversation with his counterpart in Poland today. Does Poland feel like the level of support from the United States is adequate to combat the threat Russia poses to your country?
It's from the Polish perspective, the American stance on guarantees for Poland, for our regions, were always positive. We had a visit of Poland's President Karol Nawrocki just recently into Washington. A very strong message came out from that meeting saying that the United States is providing guarantees to Poland, keeping the American forces which are present there, and if it's necessary, it will extend its military presence in Poland. So a very solid, I would say, communication. It was confirmed today in a phone call conversation that ended an hour or 2 hours ago between President Nawrocki and President Trump. So this is an important message for the entire NATO structure. Otherwise, we had very important communication between other of our leaders. Prime Minister Tusk spoke to a number of partners, including the Secretary General of NATO. Deputy Prime Minister Radosław Sikorski spoke to a number of leaders of the international organizations and foreign ministers, including the Ukrainian ministers and Secretary of State of the United States.
If I could put it plainly, does Poland feel like NATO has its back?
Yes. Yes, we do. I can feel it in Canada. I can feel it from what I'm hearing from the Polish politicians. Yeah.
One final question for you, and that is, I guess, around the bigger picture, because in the last month there have been many conversations through meetings that took place between the President of the United States and the President of Russia, as well as the President of Ukraine, that, could there be some sort of peace arrangement arrived at, some sort of negotiations toward peace? What message does what's happened to your country send in that regard?
Well, we are all observing the conversation between Washington and Moscow, and we all understand that there's been so much done by President Trump to allow Putin to come to the table, to sit down and negotiate some sort of resolution, peace. And it seems that Mr. Putin continuously is playing his game, if not to say that he is, playing with the American president. And I'm quite certain this cannot fly for too long.
Okay, I will leave it on that note. Ambassador, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.